So I just got done eating some mozzarella sticks before editing this video, and instead of eating them with marinara like everyone else seems to do, I prefer them with pizza sauce. I know that makes me a bit of a radical nowadays. I always buy Prego though, because my old high school teacher for the humanities class told us Prego spaghetti sauce. It's in there, man. No point to this story though. I just thought it was interesting, even though I didn't even buy the spaghetti sauce. But we're gonna get this video started, so let's roll these credits. So, movies. Wouldn't you know it, there are a lot of them. And wouldn't you also know it, they have a long history. Stories themselves are as old as time, beginning, as far as we can see recorded, as cave paintings, then to songs, then to plays, then a series of moving pictures, also known as film. Film itself started in Fort Lee, New Jersey in 1893. The 1920s are characterized by the silent film. This made it accessible for foreign audiences, as only the text, if there was any, needed to be changed. Expressions are near universal as far as I know. Smiling is always a sign of happiness. The father of film, D.W. Griffith, directed Birth of a Nation, released 1915. He was known as the first American auteur, giving filmmakers a grammar of filmmaking used today. It wasn't until after World War II when American cinema began to dominate the movie landscape. One of many perks of not getting your country flattened, I suppose.
Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me. Aren't you?
Shortly before the war, however, there was a production code, a set of guidelines to follow when making films which prohibited offensive language, overtly sexual content, and mixed-race couples from appearing on the big screen, while also forcing studios to have a happy ending where the bad deeds are punished and the good guys win in the end. This started in 1934 and only ended when the MPAA film rating system was adopted in 1968. It's almost as if this foreshadowed the Red Scare and the Hollywood blacklist of the 1950s. There's a nice vocab word for you. The Red Scare and Hollywood blacklist of the 1950s were a product of America's fear of communism. Directors, actors, etc. were subject to hearings to determine if they were communist. In reality, this was a witch hunt comparable to the Salem witch trials. Many lives were ruined during this time, many for not defending themselves from these attacks because they valued them as personal beliefs and didn't feel the need to disclose them publicly out of principle. It's worth noting that as soon as a production code ended, there was a new golden age of film 2 years later in 1970. Since directors no longer had to fear being blacklisted, many of them became auteurs in the medium. Widescreen, sound, and color came to the cinema much later than other mediums because Hollywood was very slow to accepting new technological improvements. Unless it was economically beneficial to them, Hollywood was stuck in their ways. The 80s gave rise to a new type of movie, the indie movie. The 90s saw an increase in the usage of CGI, and many studios revamped their business models and adjusted course after the Writers Guild strike of 2007. And this is where we began to see studios focus more on franchises. The movie industry has really come a long way. From being a passion project to a billion-dollar industry, films have and will continue to change. But at the end of the day, we all love a good story.
It's a shotgun, baby!